Detective Kowalski, Lieutenant Welsh tells me that you've more than lived up to your promise as a rookie. As a matter of fact, he tells me you're one of his finest officers. Which dismays me. It dismays me because I can't have anyone from the CPD making public statements that inflame the situation. You know what I mean?
Not sure.
Am I not getting through to you, Detective?
I'm really not sure, sir.
All right. Let's cut the nail. Carolyn Sherman is one of the finest defense attorneys in the state. You have been talking to her. You have been talking to her client. You have been requesting evidence from the betrayal case. See, in my eyes, this is not a good thing.
It's not official, sir.
I hope it's not personal. You have a job to do. I expect you to do it.
I just want to do what's right, sir.
I'm suggesting you're not. Now, this woman was sentenced by the people to be put to death with cause. That's our mandate. Personally speaking, she deserves it. Now, the longer we drag this thing out, the more negative PR we attract to one of the greatest cities in America.
So we should kill her to avoid any bad press, sir?
You're a smartass, huh? I'm gonna make this very simple, Kowalski. Drop the betrayal case. That's a direct order from the state's attorney. Lieutenant, it would be a good thing if you learned to control your men. What do you do?
Well, sir, I first came to Chicago on the trail of the killers of my father, and...
Detective, I have never met anyone with as great a capacity to piss off people as you.
Just people I don't like, sir.
Well, no, actually, Ray, even people you do like. I mean, if you think about Sandor, who you beat about the
Fraser, Lieutenant, don't shut me down on this. I'm close.
All right, look, you got sick days coming. Take a couple. Go home. What you do on your own time is your business. All right? Oh, detective, find something.
Now what?
We need to find out everything we can about Jake Botrell. If his wife didn't kill him, somebody else did. They must have had a reason.
Crime scene videotapes. Were they in any of the boxes?
I didn't see them. I'm sure we won't get a second look, but I do have another source.
Good. Oh, first things first. Let's pull the files.
Yeah, I knew Jake. Everybody loved Jake, especially the ladies. Want to know why?
Why?
Sincerity. He had it down. You couldn't tell that he didn't mean a single word he was saying, or that as soon as you were out of his sight, you were out of his mind. You're lucky. If anybody was in charge around here, we'd have gotten rid of those a long time ago.
Thank you kindly. This is Detective Botrell's day timer, and there's several entries with a single reference, mermaid. Is that standard police nomenclature?
I don't know nomenclature from my elbow, but the mermaid, that is not standard cop talk.
Here's a monthly payment reminder to Callahan's. Does that mean anything to you?
Sounds like a bar.
Still investigating the victims.
Is that not standard procedure in a homicide investigation?
Well, if it's an unsolved homicide, yes, but we know the murderer on this one, so what's the point?
The point is, walk on. That's all. Just walk on. Get out of here. Okay? Thank you.
Detective, how you feeling?
I'm fine.
No, you don't look too good.
No, I'm fine.
No, you look sick.
You should go home.
Right, I'm sick.
Come in. Ray.
Am I interrupting anything?
Yeah, you bet. Look at me. Come on in. I've been offered a job, you know. Chief investigator for Flanks Insurance.
Ever thought you the type to retire?
Well, after the Botrell case, I don't know. Can't say I lost my nerve exactly, but if it could happen to him.
Found it. But I don't think that's the same piece of paper. What do you think?
How'd you get it?
Evidence locker.
You broke in?
You think that's the same piece of paper?
If it was in the bag.
Well, yeah, it was in the bag, but...
But what? You remember something about a piece of paper 8 years ago? Listen to yourself, you're losing it.
Look, I think that Bedford suppressed the evidence.
Bedford's an ambitious bastard, yes, but that's as far as it goes. You tell me something. Why would he rig a trial that he already had red-handed?
Look, I don't know, but that is not the same piece of paper I found 8 years ago, and that is not the same piece of paper you put in evidence bag number 26.
Well, if you're sure about that, we better move forward now, huh? Because the clock's ticking on that woman.
No, we don't have nothing solid yet. Jake ever talk about Mermaid? Like, it showed up in his notebooks a lot.
Who knows? He was called Jake the Make. Maybe it was one of his women.
He had some bad habits.
There were rumors about him and Bedford's wife. I never believed them.
What exactly are you looking for, Constable?
Well, I'm not exactly sure, to be perfectly honest with you. There are certain questions that we have that may be answered by the crime scene tape.
And those that aren't?
I was hoping that you'd be able to help us. For instance, why didn't the subject of Detective Botrell's philandering arise in court?
Because it didn't help our case. Every step down that road led to a witness who testified that they heard Beth threaten to kill him in public. At some point, you cut bait and run.
But it might have provided another party with a motive.
No physical evidence placed anyone else inside the house.
Do you believe she's guilty?
That's an irrelevant question. The only real question is, do I think she should die? Constable, if you're actually onto something, be quick about it. It'll be a matter of academics in less than 30 hours.
It's all over but the crying.
Yeah! It's about time.
Is that right? Colonel Sherman gave me the crime scene videotape. I'm not sure it's going to be all that revealing.
And I got a piece of paper that's not the real piece of paper. I suppose you'd like a cup of that bark tea?
Oh, yes, I'd love some, thank you.
Yeah, well, I don't have any.
Oh, well, another time.
Okay.
Ray, look.
What, I'm a pig?
No, not that. Here. I think we'll be able to prove that this piece of paper is not the piece of paper that you found underneath the body.
Huh.
Here it is. See that? It's a partial stain. Look there, on the coffee table. 3 overlapping pieces of paper, 3 partial stains, like this. 3 overlapping pieces of paper, 3 partial stains.
Right, now look at the time code. That means that piece of paper was in the kitchen an hour after the crime. This is our proof. We have the proof.
I think we do, yes. Ray, you know, you really ought to consider dusting.
I'm a slob. Okay, so I'm a pig, I'm a slob, and I have an infestation. Those guys from the Trib sure thought I was full of it.
And you are supposed to meet them within the hour, aren't you?
Yes, I am. At the Gladstone, behind the corner of Schuster and Wayne.
I believe that's Wayne and Schuster, isn't it, Ray? Here we go. Backing up. Turning in. This is it.
What the hell are you guys doing here?
What are you doing here?
We got a tip there's a drug deal going down.
Somebody's playing games with us.
The piece of paper.
You want a lift?
Not that car. Thank you kindly. The paper?
Gone.
That man we passed in the hallway? I've smelled him before. At the evidence lockup.
Here we go. Sergeant Eddie Polito, 20-year veteran, currently in charge of evidence to seized property. This is the guy?
I think so. Okay, 1989-1990, Officer Polito worked undercover with Officer Drop Robertson under the direction of Detective Jake Botrell on Project Neptune. The state's attorney's office investigation into union corruption on the waterfront. Investigation headed up by Robert Bedford. Neptune, Mermaid.
Connection?
Other than they both have maritime associations, I have no idea.
You guys investigating other cops now? You want a job in IA? Why don't you apply to IA?
Look, this is personal. You want to get in the middle of it? That's fine with me. You want to be filled in? Because I'll fill you in.
Maybe another day.
Guy.
Hey, it's Bedford, turn it up. Turn it up.
Let us pray, not just for Beth Luttrell, but for America.
Who's truly running for governor?
I don't think this is the time to be discussing that. I will say that my faith in and my love for this country has never been stronger. Thank you.
The body's not even cold and he's running for governor.
That may have provided us with the opening we need.
How so?
Well, now that the rumor of his seeking the governorship is confirmed, he'll be walking on eggshells until such time as Ms. Botrell is dead. And it'll make him vulnerable. Now, what if we can trap him to talking about that piece of paper on tape? That should, Ray. That should give us all the evidence we need.
Well, we can't meet him, and if we try to call him, he's going to have us off the street in no time flat.
Exactly, so it'll have to be someone he could trust.
I know the guy. I'll talk to him.
All right.
Where are you going?
Find a mermaid.
Here.
Mermaid. Mermaid. No, nothing springs to mind.
Constable Fraser found the reference in your husband's journal.
I thought perhaps it might be one of his contacts.
Well, you could ask State's Attorney Bedford. Jake was his chief investigator into waterfront corruption. So he would know better than me. He called Jake the night that he died.
Do you happen to know what they talked about?
No, he didn't talk about his business.
I don't imagine he ever mentioned Callahan or Callahan's.
Callahan's.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jake ran up a bunch of charges on our credit card, and I thought it was a bar. We had one of our biggest fights about that.
It wasn't a bar?
No, it was just a storage place. It's the only time he was ever telling the truth. Is this of any use?
I hope so.
Yeah, me too. I lied the other day to Officer Kowalski. I didn't kill my husband.
He knows.
You asked me to save a woman who killed a cop.
She didn't do it, Sam. I know it.
Come on, Ray, what do you got?
We think Jake Botrell was having an affair with Bedford's wife. That piece of paper I found at the scene had something to do with it. He knew that this case would make his career, so he destroyed the piece of evidence that could disqualify him from the case and kill his family image at the same time.
No, Bob wouldn't do that.
Sam, come on. Power, ambition, people do crazy things. Besides, she's guilty anyway, right?
So what do you want me to do?
Set up a meeting.
Hasn't been open in years. You sure this okay?
Oh, absolutely.
It's really strange that the warrant department ran out of forms like that, huh? What's unlike them?
Bottrell's.
Probably his love letters.
Ooh, love that writing paper.
There.
What?
I found a mermaid.
What'd you tell him? I just said we had to talk. I hope you're right about this, Kowalski.
Yeah, you, me, and Beth Bottrell.
You're up.
Move.
Hey, what's going on here?
Sorry, Bob. You would have made a good governor. You know, mostly you always got what you wanted. But not this time. It's my turn.
Far enough.
Sam, what the hell's going on here? I don't understand.
It's not that complicated. Why don't you give it a try?
Why don't I take a stab at it? Beth Bottrell did not kill her husband. Committed suicide. Suicide that was prompted by a telephone call from State's Attorney Bedford, in which Jake Bottrell learned he was about to be indicted in a kickback scheme. The piece of paper found under his body was a suicide note. A note that also implicated his partner in the crime, Inspector Sam Franklin.
You really like these dramatic revelations, don't you, Fraser?
Not really, Ray. Actually, all that exposition makes me feel a little thirsty.
This scheme was going to be my payoff. And no one's going to take it away from me.
Are you willing to kill all of us for it?
I was willing to let a woman die for it. So why not the three of you?
Only 3. Look again.
You were frightened.
Yeah. No, I wasn't, frightened, and then I bumped him, and then I pulled my gun out, because I didn't know. I didn't.
And he was here. He was lying here.
Yeah. Look, we don't have to.
No, please, you keep going, please.
I kneeled down and I picked up a piece of paper and
You didn't read it. You didn't read it, did you?
No. As I heard,
You heard the water running. So the water drew you here?
yeah, but the door wasn't closed all the way. Anyway,
So you opened it?
I pushed it open, yeah.
And where was I?
There.
And the water was running.
I'm sorry.
No.
I am. I'm so sorry.
No. Thank you, Officer Kowalski.